Today I'm going to review some contacts that I got from HoneyColor.com this past weekend, and they are Vampire Twilight lenses. Not official merchandise, of course, that's just what they're called. They don't have like a color name associated with them, but they are, as you can see, kind of goldish, or somewhat orangey goldish. Which I thought were perfect for Yoko Littner and other sort of gold-eyed characters. Gold and orange and like yellowy colors are very, very difficult to find, especially if you have very dark eyes like myself. My eyes are super dark brown, nearly pitch black. They were about $20, again from HoneyColor.com. They're in the cosplay lens section, so they're not by a fashion brand necessarily. They're more in the costume and Halloween genre. They both come in prescription, as I said. They're both -4. That's my prescription. All contacts from HoneyColor.com come with a little lens case, which in my case just happened to actually match colors. And they'll send you all kinds of different animal cases. This is a fish, I guess, pink. And these lenses are pink too, so I'm starting to think that they're doing that on purpose and not just a coincidence. Anyways, they are 1-year disposable lenses, these are, and the diameter is 14.5, so those are some specifications. I'll go ahead and go through my ratings list, which I have a specific ratings list that I'm going to go by from now on. It goes over color, vibrancy, diameter, enlargement, depth, limbal ring, comfort, vision, and effect, and I'll explain each one as I go along. As for the color, as I said, they come in orange and gold-ish color, and that's the literal color. I always say what the actual color is, and then the vibrancy. The vibrancy, I would say, is 5 out of 5, because they are the brightest orangey goldish color that I have had that come up. I have, like I said, really dark brown eyes, so I'm really impressed with these color. It pops even from a distance, as you can see. So 5 out of 5 on color vibrancy. Next is the diameter. As I said, is 14.5, and based on the diameter, the enlargement effect is 3 out of 5. And that doesn't mean that it's doing a bad job. It just quite literally is 3 out of 5 in the sense that it's not too much, but it does enlarge in a very flattering way without being too like alien-eyed. So the enlargement is reasonable. It looks good, so that's why I give it 3 out of 5, because it will enlarge your eyes slightly. Iris depth, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Again, that doesn't mean that the contacts are bad necessarily, that's just corresponding to how deep the color goes into the iris. So if you look really closely, you might not be able to see it because of the computer screen, but there's a lot of space in here, and it doesn't cover as much of the pupil and the iris that I wish it would, because I love this color, so I kind of want to see more of it. When I buy contacts, colored contacts, I want it to be as deep in as possible, because I'm paying for color contacts, so I want the color to come across from a distance, and then the more color that there is covering your eye, the more that is going to show up from a distance. So it's just a, proportions. If there's more color to see, there's more color to show up. So 2 out of 5 on the depth. But other than that, it is reasonable. It does look good. I just personally wish that it were a little bit deeper, but it's still a really great lens. And as for the limbal ring, it's very heavy. It doesn't blend off into the eye. You can see a very concise line. It is blended in back into the color, but it doesn't fade into the eye like some other lenses do. So it gives it somewhat of a fantasy effect, and I'll go into that soon as well. Comfort, 5 out of 5. I can't feel them really, which is a good thing, because I had some other lenses for Yoko Manson in orange, which they showed up, but they didn't have any texture to them, and they were a little bit thicker, so I didn't like those as much. So these are very comfortable. Vision 5 out of 5. I can see as well as I can with my everyday lenses. So just get them in your prescription. And there's no halo because they don't go into your eye very deep. As for the effect, which I talked about earlier, there's a couple of effects that I look for. There's like the very natural, that it looks very believable. There's fantasy, where it's semi-natural, but you know, you would never see it on a real person, such as like this sort of ragged effect around the eye, around the Limbal Ring. So I call that fantasy or semi-natural. And then there's anime and cartoon, where it's very obviously not natural, but still has somewhat of a texture. And then there's costume or Halloween lenses, where usually it's just very bright colors and very little texture, such as a Manson lens, which tend to be just solid colors. So as for this lens, I would say that it is a fantasy or semi-natural effect. It is based on the Twilight golden vampire eyes, I guess. So if you're looking for an orange golden eye, this is my best recommendation that I've run into so far. I've tried browns, I've tried like orangey costume lenses, and they have like the yellow Halloween ones, but most of those do not come in prescription. I need to have prescription. I can only see like this bar, literally without context. Alright, so that's my review on Vampire Twilight lenses from HoneyColor. If you have any questions, leave them below or message me. But other than that, thank you for watching.